Welcome to all of you, and thank you for making your way here to Ottawa to begin and mark the first journey to Freedom Day. Je suis fier de vous souhaiter à tous et à toutes la bienvenue à la première journée du parcours vers la liberté pour commémorer le 30 avril et remercier le Canada. Today marks the 40th commemoration anniversary of the fall of Saigon on April 30th, 1975. It represents the anniversary of the Montreal Day, a dark day for the Vietnamese Canadian community. It depicts the day of the loss of our homeland, a day that led to executions, forced labor, education camps, and restrictions on basic human rights that still continue on this day in Vietnam. Many of us had to flee, abandon our houses, and leave our friends, our families, and our country. We had to leave important parts of our life behind to escape systematic discrimination and abuse from a cruel communist regime. 40 decades ago, the Vietnam War ended and Saigon fell to the communist invader, and over 2 million refugees were forced to flee on a small leaky boat. This is why we are proud to start our first journey to Freedom Day with this rally in support of the memorial to the victim of communism, which will be located in this very site on the Saint Laurent Square near the Supreme Court of Canada. On this journey to Freedom Day, it is fitting to commemorate the fall of Saigon and rally in favor to the construction of the memorial in our nation capital that would honor hundreds of millions of men, women, and children who have struggled and continue to struggle the tyranny of communism and are victims of them as well. My dear friends, we are proud to make the first journey to freedom with my colleagues from the Parliament who, with the Prime Minister of Canada, have inspired the construction of the memorial to the victim of communism. I have the honor of introducing here, the Honorable Shelley Glover, Minister of Canadian Heritage and Minister of Official Languages. We have also the Honorable Pierre Poilievre, Minister of Employment and Social Development. We have also Mr. Ludwig Klimkowski, Chair of the Tribute to Liberty. We have also with us today here the veteran from the veteran career in the Korean War. Nous sommes fièrement réunis aujourd'hui en solidarité pour démontrer notre admiration au monument, mais aussi pour commémorer les événements tragiques qui ont suivi la chute de Saigon. Today, we stand in admiration of the memorial, an important landmark that soon becomes the place of the common tribute. You have the photo here. This memorial will be founded here for all of us to remember our memory, griefs, and remind us why and how we came to Canada seeking for freedom. I again thank you all for coming, especially the Vietnamese communities from across Canada. We have representatives from Vancouver, Alberta, Edmonton, Calgary. We have also from Toronto. You will come here with about what, 7, 8 buses? Wow, that's amazing. Montreal, 5 buses. Ottawa and Halifax. And also the veteran of the Vietnamese Armed Forces. Where are they? Over there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to present to you Minister Glover, Minister of Canadian Heritage and Official Languages, Mesdames et messieurs, je suis très heureux de vous présenter la ministre en charge de ce monument, Mr. Glover.
Thank you, Senator. Good day, everyone. Bonjour, tout le monde. Kin chao qui. I am just so honored to be here with our parliamentarians. Minister Poilievre, you've been very important to this project. Senator No, God bless you for all that you've done to make sure today could happen. Let's give him a hand. He's gone to extreme attempts to make this the best it could be. And of course, I want to acknowledge as well Mr. Klimkowski, who is integral to this very monument. Today is Journey to Freedom Day. We are acknowledging the memories that led to many, many sad moments. As we know, today we are also going to talk about a monument to be built right here on this site. And how appropriate to have a beautiful day like this, where we are acknowledging the Journey to Freedom Day, as well as acknowledging the future of this site, the Victims of Communism Monument. More than 8 million Canadians have roots in countries that have suffered under a communist regime, including many of you here today. And to remember the over 100 million lives lost under these regimes, the Government of Canada has partnered to build a place of remembrance. And remembrance means acknowledging our veterans. Once again, on behalf of the Government of Canada, on behalf of the Prime Minister of Canada, allow me to thank all of our veterans who are present. We would not live in the greatest country in the world were it not for your sacrifices. Thank you very, very much. The Monument for the Victims of Communism will pay tribute to all those who lost their lives and endured inhumane conditions under communist regimes, and I'm proud to be a part of today's ceremony. I'd like to acknowledge all of you here today for your support, and I know many of you have seen or you know firsthand just what it was like to experience oppression, and I thank you for being here. On the road to the 150th anniversary of Confederation in 2017, this memorial will also emphasize the role that Canada has played as a welcoming country and will cast a light on this important chapter in our history. Our government is proud to contribute to the creation of this monument, but it is only possible with the collaboration of generous donors, many from the Vietnamese community, many who are here today. And just as I approached, I had some veterans, some Hungarian veterans, indicate to me that they've just contributed. So to all those donors, thank you so very much, because the Government of Canada could not do this without your efforts. And it is, in fact, Tribute to Liberty who is spearheading this monument. So I do want to take a moment to thank the board from Tribute to Liberty, and of course Ludwig, who will be able to speak with all of you following this ceremony and will offer some insight into where they're at. I also want to take a moment to thank a minister who is not present but wanted so much to be here, and that is Minister Jason Kenney. Minister Jason Kenney has been devoted to this project since the very beginning and is going to see it to the end. Notre gouvernement est très fier d'avoir adopté la semaine dernière la loi sur la journée du parcours vers la liberté. Cette loi témoigne du profond respect que nous avons pour les réfugiés vietnamiens venus s'installer au Canada il y a 40 ans. Elle rend aussi hommage à l'extraordinaire contribution de la communauté vietnamienne à la société canadienne. Votre histoire est la nôtre et notre pays est le vôtre. Et nous portons avec vous tous aujourd'hui le deuil du peuple vietnamien. As I conclude, I am reminded of how rich Canada has become. Look around for a moment. We do live in the greatest country in the world. It's a country strong, proud, and free, and it is thanks to all of you. Thank you very, very much. Kamon et merci.
Thank you, Minister. When I say thank you, what is going to be your response? All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'm very, very proud to introduce to you the Honorable Pierre Poilievre, Minister of Employment and Social Development, and also the Minister responsible for the National Capital Commission. Minister?
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Thank you to Minister Glover for the incredible work she has done to bring forward this project as our Minister of Heritage. Thank you to Ludwig and the Tribute for Liberty Committee. Thank you to our amazing Conservative Senator No for all of the work and all of the passion that has made this possible. Bravo. And most of all, thank you to our Canadian-Korean war veterans. And I'd like to invite them to come on up so that we can honor them for a moment here. Come on forward. These are the veterans who helped defeat communism in South Korea in the early 1950s. And because of them and allied nations around the world, there are millions of South Koreans who live free from the oppression and horror of communism. Thank you so much for your courage. So while today is about honoring Vietnamese Canadians and the journey to freedom that they have overcome, their arrival in Canada and their contribution to this country, it is also about the millions of people around the world who have suffered under the oppression of communism. We know that 100 million people worldwide have been murdered by communist regimes. We know that 8 million Canadians trace their roots back to countries formerly oppressed and presently oppressed by communism. And we know that our soldiers fought against communism during the Cold War. And we are here today to commemorate all of that history with a future monument that will go right here in this site in plain view so that all Canadians can learn about that important history. And I think it is worth being blunt. I think it is shameful that the Liberals and the NDP have come out against building this monument at this site, and it is shameful that some in the media have done the same. This is a worthy project. It is the right thing to do, and under the strong leadership of Prime Minister Harper, we will build this monument. Alors, merci beaucoup à tout le monde. Je vous remercie de votre courage, de votre contribution au Canada et de votre persévérance après toute la souffrance qui vous est venue à cause du communisme dans votre pays d'origine. Nous sommes très fiers que vous avez fait le grand défi de venir ici au Canada et de faire partie de notre famille, une famille de liberté. Et c'est un patrimoine qu'on veut donner à nos enfants et qu'on veut célébrer avec la construction de ce monument. Merci beaucoup. Excuse my reach. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Okay. I have the announcement to make. The two ministers has to go back to the House of Commons to vote right now, so that they cannot parade with us, but they have to go. So let's do the call. There's nothing we can do. Anyway, thank you very much, Minister Glover. Thank you, Minister Poilievre. Before we start our march, please let me introduce today our last speaker. I am proud to introduce to you a strong forerunner for the memorial, the chair of the Tribute to Liberty, Mr. Ludwig Lubkowski.
Dear Honourable Senator, Members of Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, welcome to the future site of the Memorial to Victims of Communism, Canada, Land of Refuge. Bienvenue sur le site de futur Memorial pour les victimes de communisme. As a chair of Tribute to Liberty, I'm proud to welcome to our new home the Vietnamese brothers and sisters, and welcome to your new home in Ottawa, place where you will be welcomed always for the future commemorations and tributes, and above all, the education for all Canadians. We are 8 million strong. Nous sommes les 8 millions forts, people who trace their own roots to the countries oppressed and occupied by communism. We have all gathered here to rally in support of the memorial, but also to participate in a celebration of journey to freedom. The fall of Saigon 40 years ago has caused unspeakable hardship, separation, devastation of Vietnam. And as I map your faces today, line by line, I can see sorrow and pain. But then I can also see a little bit of hope. And I see that hope for the future of free Vietnam, independent, democratic, pluralistic Vietnam. We, the Tribute to Liberty, and all of us hope for all people from around the world to live in a free, pluralistic, and democratic countries, and beautiful countries like our true North Star, our Canada, that we love so much. Your journey to freedom is almost completed. You're here. You have lived here for generations now, and you are as Canadian as anybody else here. It troubles us greatly when some prominent members of our community say that your story is not Canadian enough, that you don't belong. They want you and your memory to be delegated to some dark corner of Canadian history. They claim this land is better used and better suited for the stack of papers and endless corridors of the file cabinets. Your journey to freedom will remain restless until people like they embrace you and demand for the memory and justice for your wives and daughters raped and killed at the sea, for your fathers and sons blown up on the fields of rice. The history of Canada, my friends, is nothing but the story of its people. You are the people. Some individuals claim that Canada has never experienced communist oppression, hence the story of victims of communism should be better commemorated somewhere else. Friends, we bow our heads and we say thank you because of you, the Korean veterans, and because of your sacrifice, a brave defense against the communist invaders in a faraway lands, that we shall remain free forever. Thank you for that. Friends, we need more evidence about our story. We need more information about tears of humanity in the memory of 100 million killed in the name of hammer and sickle, in the name of red flags that are soaked in the blood of innocents. We need to elevate our own common memory of our neighbors, memory of our fellow Canadians. We're not sad. We say, forgive them because they just don't know. Sometimes they are too embedded in the ease and complacency, and the lifestyle of ignorance has no allowance for the memory of starvation during the Holodomor, no interest in the sinking boats of the Vietnamese heroes, no need to see the unified Korea. However, Canada is generous. Canadians are kind. This beacon of freedom, of hope, remains as strong as ever. We are thankful to our government, to the leaders of all national parties for the support received over the years. We all want this pristine place to be cherished, visited, valued by all Canadians. Its glorified placement here, in the heart of parliamentary precinct, demands respect and humility in the shadow of its surroundings. Memory folds resting upon national archives will present our never-ending gratitude for the true North Star of free, our home, Canada, a land of refuge. The bridge of hope, arching with dignity towards the Supreme Court of Canada, will stay strong for thee, for the millions who came to her shores. Different races, different faiths, different struggle, but all of us, friends, all of us are united by the quench for justice. It is only here at home that we can get the strong sense of rule of law. Friends, as you know, in most of countries occupied by communists, no dictator had to face justice. There was no freedom to assembly, no democratic process, no free voices unobstructed by censorship. This is why it is so important to build this memorial right here, where we are not afraid of anyone anymore. And finally, within the Bridge of Hope, we will build the Wall of Remembrance, a truly Canadian project with a mosaic of 1,000 names, Vietnamese with Russians, Poles with Koreans, Germans with Tibetans, a story, a testimony behind each and every life lost. We do this in memory of our heroes, but we are also doing this for the future generations. We do this so the future generations of Canadians are not tempted to walk on the wrong side of the history. And let me finish by quoting someone who is really dear and close to my heart. The quote, "You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We will preserve for our children this, the last best hope of men on earth. Or we will sentence them to take the first step into 1,000 years of darkness. If we fail, at least let our children and our grandchildren's children say of us, we've justified our presence here. We did what we could, and we are proud of it." Please, my friends, visit tributetoliberty.ca as often as you can and help us to fill the Wall of Remembrance, and let us be proud of today. And once again, with your permission, please give it up for Senator No. Thank you.
Thank you, Ludwig. Just now, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Polish community over here. Please raise your hand. The Polish community. We have Tibetan community as well. Well, as I say, we thank all the ministers who are here, Unfortunately, they have to go back for the vote. And you can see here, this is the model of the monument which will be built. You can come and take the pictures out of this after this. Remember, as I always say, freedom is not free. The Vietnamese people paid for their freedom through their perilous journey, and according to the United High Commission for Refugees, they say that there was about 250,000 Vietnamese boat people, refugees, perish at sea. So remember, people, we pay a very heavy price for our freedom. And remember that. Don't you ever forget. Tell that to your children, second generation. Tell that to your grandchildren, third generation, and so on. And let them know why you are here, when you are here in Canada. Thank you. We will give you about 5 minutes before we start the parade. The monument is here. It's the pictures because of the administration's obstacles. We couldn't do properly. It's supposed to be a groundbreaking, but due to the administration things that we cannot do it. But anyway, this is the site of the monument. And this is the one from the architect, and you can take the pictures for this one, and you have 5 minutes, and then we start. You follow the leader of the Vietnamese veteran. They will start. We go straight there to the street, and then you wait for us right there. We will go in 5 minutes. Thank you. There are brochures also you can take home for the monument as well, and for your donation if you can. It's good.